There comes a time in everyone's life where they just want to blow up everything around them. And this is where Zooka will become your best friend. She's really good at ripping buildings and vehicles apart, and she does so better than anybody else. So let's take a look where Zooka fits into the Boom Beach Frontlines universe. Now, it might not come as a surprise to most of you, but people rocking bazookas are normally a force to be reckoned with. But inside of Boom Beach Frontlines, she is well balanced. She has a couple of flaws, which makes her actually probably one of the most balanced characters inside the game right now. Zooka, being the very first epic character you get inside the game, starts at level 4. Now, it doesn't seem like she has a lot of health starting at 426. But if she didn't have a low health, she would basically be Godzilla stomping on buildings as she just made her way through the enemy base. So having a fairly low amount of health actually balances out how much damage she actually does to buildings. Now, Zooka's damage is something we need to take a very close look at. She does 2 different kinds of damage and a little bit of splash damage. She does damage specifically for troops and specifically for buildings and for vehicles, and they're 2 completely different numbers. Now, for buildings and vehicles, she does a flat damage of 719. There's a little bit of a glitch right now in the alpha where it actually does 1 damage less, which is kind of weird. So it says 718 instead of 719 when you hit. But it can do less damage to buildings and vehicles if they catch the end of a splash damage. So you need to be careful. If you're shooting stationary buildings, easy. If you're shooting moving vehicles and stuff, just be cautious that if you miss, there's a chance that you won't do all your damage. Her damage against troops is a little bit more complicated. Let's say you hit them directly, you'll do the whole 240 damage. But if you miss even by like a millimeter or a pixel or something like that, it does less damage. Now, watching all the replays and stuff, I can't figure out how wide her splash damage is and the variation of damage in between there. Because sometimes I've done like 11 damage, sometimes I've done like 111 damage, and the splash is it's not really something we can understand. I really wish they would put that into the game so we could understand it. But characters can often dodge Zooka's shots because they're extremely slow, causing you not to do direct damage to somebody. So the best thing for Zooka is to not shoot people, but actually shoot the vehicles and buildings. The only reason she would actually start shooting specific people is if you guys were all working together to shoot somebody, because sometimes you don't get the right amount of damage. But the good thing about troops clumping together, she does do splash damage, so if you hit one person directly on, there's people around them, you can do a little bit of splash damage to them. So she groups of people, and buildings and vehicles are probably her primary targets. The other reason why you wouldn't want Zooka to be a troop-only targeting person is because of how long her reload is. It takes her 2 seconds to reload her gun, giving her the lowest DPS inside the game. So because she does 240 damage and she takes 2 seconds to reload, it's about 120 damage per second, which is less than Assault. But if she's firing at buildings, she does 719 damage. She does the most DPS per second against buildings and vehicles. So you really want to make sure she focuses on buildings and only focuses on troops if you're group firing at somebody or if they are very low health. You don't want to 1v1 anybody as Zooka. The great thing she has going for her is that she has a fairly long range. In her bio, it says that she has a long range attack, but in her specs, it says she has a medium range attack. But the good thing is she is the second longest firing person in the game, right behind the sniper. She shoots 5 tiles in length, which is longer than anybody else besides sniper, and has a 2-tile width for targeting. So she does fair distance, she can stay back, so she should probably stay behind everybody else and fire at buildings and vehicles, is basically what her main role is. And I believe that's covered every basis you need to know about Zooka, so let's show you guys some gameplay of how Zooka works inside the game. Thank you for everybody who watched the video. You guys are awesome. I greatly appreciate it. That is all the characters I currently have unlocked. We're going to try to push hard to unlock the Pyro, which is the flamethrower guy, and do another video on him. But right now, that's it for the people. We're going to focus now more on gameplay, gameplay videos, and other nerfs and buffs I would love to see inside the game. So these videos are going to keep going for a little while longer. I'm going to have to record a bunch of gameplay in advance because this is the last weekend for the alpha to be open for us to play, so we're gonna have to record hours and hours of gameplay footage in order to have lots of videos coming out about it in the future. Hope you guys enjoyed this. If you did, make sure you guys drop a like and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys all later. Bye.